What's up? It's the Brunch Breakdown. Didi out here in Los Angeles. Chris and Dan are in Pittsburgh. And today on the show, we've got a good one, man. We've got a lot. We kind of let Chris Gates take over the menu because he hasn't been here for 2 weeks. And we're very happy that he's here because last week he was at home and didn't even tell us. What the hell, Chris? What the hell?
Chris, did you hear your vital error? You made a vital error of messaging us
time.
on Instagram as
Big
we were
time.
recording. And I was like, he's at home and free. But welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. We're happy you're here. Well, today on the show, there's a person who lost a bunch of weight eating something at Costco that we're going to talk about very soon. We've got a great movies pick'em that we haven't done a pick'em in a while, so I'm excited about that. And Chris has a great airline topic that we're going to get to too. So like it's gonna be a fun show. We got music, we got beer, we got more. Dan, let everybody know where they can find it.
Everywhere. You can find anywhere podcasts are available. You can find the Brunch Breakdown. And when we release a new episode, that happens every Wednesday, each and every week on Wednesday. Make sure you're following or subscribing to wherever you prefer to listen to podcasts. And that episode is going to come straight to you. That easy. Download it on the go, ready for you to listen whenever you'd like. We also have the full video episodes. So if you need visual proof of what we're talking about, we've got some visuals today that might be worth taking a peek at. Check out the video pod that's on YouTube, Facebook, and on Spotify right there in the app. Those, however, premiere at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Wednesdays. But of course, on demand anytime you'd like to watch after that. Social media, we're there too. Everywhere. Also everywhere. At Brunch Breakdown. Follow us. We follow you back. And then we wrap up each week with music. We put it into a delightful little playlist for you. We call it The Sounds of Brunch. And we update that exclusively to Spotify each and every Friday. Tell all the automated things that have all the strange names. Hey, you without the face. Tell me, please. I'm telling you, play The Sounds of Brunch and just enjoy.
You know how lots of people to get you into their network, they'll give away like a freebie of some sort, some type of free resource.
Oh, yeah.
I think we should put together a prompt guide on how people can ask whatever their device is to listen to us in some form or fashion. You know, basically Mad Libs. Like, hey, device name.
Insert. Yeah.
You know, just to help the people out.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Too.
To work on that. Okay.
That's very good.
A little homework. Okay.
All right. Well, Chris, get it off your chest, dude. It's been a minute. Let's go.
Yeah, missed you boys. Glad to be back. I was in Florida, right? Which I think is, I mean, I saw a lot of people from Pittsburgh down there. So it's, I think it's just a necessary thing that us Northeasterners have to do during the winter to just get out of this, right? And I was happy that we did because I saw the sun 6 out of 7 days. It was in the 70s basically all those days too. Did the beach, did the pool, got some vitamin D via the sun rays and not the one that I eat every morning. It's been great. Or it was great. And then I came home and it snowed, so that wasn't great. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about the weather. We went to the Tampa area, like those beaches outside of Tampa, you know, Clearwater, Bradenton, Reddington Beach, that area. My wife's parents are the classic snowbirds from the Midwest, where they have the ability to spend the warm months in the Midwest, and then when the weather just starts to say like, hey, we're going to change, they go to Florida for the rest of the year. And so we went down there and hung out with them, and I saw one of the craziest things that I've ever seen in my life because of a unfortunate circumstance, but it made me realize that like not all of the glamorous things that you see in life are actually that glamorous. And this one, in fact, frightened me. It was really sad because the Tampa area last fall got hit with like 2 major hurricanes back to back. And I guess one of them like just flooded everything. And then the second one came through and the wind was crazy. And then that just like blew the top off of everything. So like tons of houses down there had tarps on their roofs because, you know, everybody's waiting to get a new roof. And like, dude, we stayed on the beach. The first floor of every single structure there, whether it be a house, a hotel, condominium complex, everything. The first floor was gutted. Like, it was crazy. Lots of stuff down there boarded up and whatnot. And even like on the bay side, one day we did a boat ride on the bay, and they basically just took us, along the shoreline to see all of these mansions, which looked amazing. But the first floor of all of them was completely gutted. And any house that, like, I guess it was something like if more than 50% of the house was considered like completely damaged by the storm, they either had to tear it down and rebuild, or just like call it a loss, which was crazy. So there's lots of people down there making decisions. One of the decisions, though, all these details are to tell you this. One of the decisions people down there can make is you can physically raise your house up one story. And so I saw houses either fully raised up on stilts that had been on the ground, or in the process of that happening, which one didn't know that was possible. Okay. Like, they obviously don't have basements like we do here, right? Because they're right next to the sea. Mm-hmm. That would be silly. But I didn't know if it's just like I thought, yeah, you could do that to like a trailer home. Right. Like, I've seen houses driving down the highway before. So I know that they can be moved, but I didn't think it could be that way for like mansions. Okay. I saw one of the most beautiful homes I've ever seen in my entire life standing on cinder blocks. And at that point in time, boys, I realized I could never live in that house. You could not catch me living in a house that was once on the ground. And then at some point you decided, no, we're going to raise it up one story and just put some sticks underneath it. Put some wood under there. Put some concrete under there. For the rest of my life, I would think about that every day. I pictured this in my head of like waking up in the morning and be like afraid to put my feet on the floor in the bedroom, because I'd be afraid I'm going to like shift the house. Or like, I also thought like I would probably have a marble and like I'd put it on the counter every day to see if it rolled one way or the other, just to see if my house was starting to shift. I could not live like that. That is absolutely crazy. Didn't know you could do that with houses. And like, apparently it costs like at least $500,000 to do it. Now, a lot of these people down there have mansions and they got millions and millions of dollars, so that's not that big of a hit. But there's a lot of other people who have been down there forever, and now their house is totaled. So it's it's really an unfortunate situation. But for some of these people who can afford to do it, I don't know how. Mentally, I couldn't do that. I would move. I would not be able to do it. I would sell it to somebody else who would be able to, and like mentally be able to live with that. And then I would go find a house inland, because that feels to me like the most anxiety-ridden way to live the rest of your life.
You'd be like, if you jump on the bed one more time, I'm literally throwing you into the ocean.
Yeah, I thought about that too, Dan. My kids treat every room like it's a jungle gym. So yeah. Every time like Charlotte runs into the wall, I'd be like, oh my God, the house is going down. Like,
gotta go check the foundation again.
I would be so like on edge the rest of my life. I don't understand how these people can do it. I don't get it.
I am shocked that that even most places in Tampa have first floors, honestly. Just because a lot of the places that live in, near water, it's like that bottom floor is like nothing. And then you go up a bunch of stairs and that's when the house starts.
Right.
So I'm surprised.
Yeah. Bottom floor is like a carport is what it is.
Yeah, it's like a carport. Or they like make it look like a deck or something, but really it's not the house.
This is the house.
Weird.
There it is.
You see in the bottom there?
Just pump it up.
It's cinder blocks and like wood and that whole thing. That's a huge house, dude. It used to be on the ground.
That's so crazy.
I don't even know how you go about that.
That's what I asked, because I was like, how
do you?
And it's just like inches at a time, man. It takes a really, really long time. So that happened in September. And so since like October, November, December, January, February, into March. We're into like month 6 of these people elevating their homes. Crazy.
I wonder, man, I'm gonna do a deep dive on that because I know like there's houses here because of like earthquakes and soil and stuff like that. Every house in California is basically, especially Southern California, is basically like uneven. So there's like a lot of like ways to fix the foundation. They like have to go super underground and then like pump your house up. But it's not like that. Yeah, but that's just crazy. I don't know how you just like lift a house then put it down and I don't know.
It's a scenario. It's a scenario like that where I'm like, I can take a little more snow. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm not worried about. We need to move this house up because we have over 12 feet of snow. We need to pump it up a little bit. We need to jack this thing up.
Yeah.
So, a little perspective.
Oh, Dan, get it off your chest.
Well, I do. There is something I truly need to get off my chest this week because I'm getting a little sick and tired of something, and it's really coming to the forefront this week. The ease for athletes and players to just easily just jump ship, right? We all know how easy that is in college. Now with the transfer portal, right? No real limits or restrictions anymore, at least for the time being. You used to have to sit out a year. Now it's all whatever, willy-nilly, whatever, however you feel like it. Pitt played a game last week against NC State, and one of the players on NC State was on his 4th team in 4 years. And if your 4th team is NC State, it's you, bro. It's you. It ain't the coach. It ain't the team. It's you. If NC State is your 4th team in 4 years, okay? And now all of a sudden we're seeing it happen in the NFL a lot more frequently than we used to, right? I don't like my situation. I don't like my contract. I don't like my coach. Trade me now. Trade me right now. And especially in the period of like free agency is about to break, it's happening a lot more. And don't get me wrong. Don't at me. Don't get me wrong. There are certainly circumstances where that is needed. That's appropriate, right? Definitely still a thing. But again, in terms of perspective, relative to what you were just talking about, actually, Chris, I just started thinking about like this idea in terms of like real people in real life. You know what I mean? Like if I don't like my job, or I don't like my pay, or I don't like the owner of the company that I work for, I have to go out there. I have to update my resume, search for tons and tons of positions each and every day, apply to tons and tons of positions, interview likely multiple times in multiple rounds, and eventually, hopefully, be chosen. And that's not always the case either, right? Sometimes it takes a very long time or it just doesn't happen at all. So I'm just like trying to get a little perspective on this whole thing, you know, how easy it is for the collegiate professional athlete to just play somewhere else, often get paid more, have a better situation just because they don't like it. And I'm not saying we need like a transfer portal in real life for real life jobs. Certainly that wouldn't work. The idea of it is fun. But so don't get me wrong. I did take a minute thinking about how would that be possible. It's called Indeed, I guess, is basically it. But I just think we need a little bit of a level set for maybe some of these athletes. And listen again. I know they're the best in the world at what they do. They've earned that, but it's just like, hey, maybe go work a job for a little bit and realize like sometimes you just got to put up with shit. Sometimes you just got to put up with shit. In many situations, they chose where they are working. For you, me, the everyday people, we don't always get that choice. We just got to have to pick who wants us the most. And they kind of get a little bit too much free range right now. And it's just been on my mind this week, you know, putting things into perspective a little bit. It's a little too easy for some people. And I don't know. There's a solution out there and I don't know what it is.
Dan, it's the opposite. You can leave your job tomorrow and go get another job in another place.
Not in one day.
Not that easily. Myles Garrett did not say, hey, my whole life I've wanted to be a Cleveland Brown. So you know what? I'm going to go be a Cleveland Brown. No, that's not how it works. These guys, especially in like NFL, NBA, professional sports, right? They get put on a team. And then depending on how good they are, they're stuck there. Stuck there. Unless they're Luka Doncic and like the team just decides, hey,
well, there you go.
we just want you to be a Laker. Like, we don't want you anymore for some reason. But no, the Myles Garrett situation, he's like, I never wanted to be a Cleveland Brown. I didn't ask for this. Nobody asked to be a Cleveland Brown. I'm one of the best players in the league. I want to go play somewhere else. And the Browns are like, sure, buddy. You can't. It's not that same way for you, Dan. Like, you're going to go to your boss and be like, yep, I'm leaving. He's going to be like, well, that's unfortunate. I mean, you got to do what you want to do. They're not going to be like, Dan, you got 3 years left on your contract. You're going to sit at your desk and you're shut the fuck up. No, like, that's not going to happen to you. Sorry. Like, so it's the opposite. Like, they don't have as much.
But I mean, Myles Garrett, one situation. Like I said, there are certain circumstances. Trey Hendrickson for the Bengals just decided he didn't like that they're paying their wide receivers, and he's like, I don't like this. I want to go somewhere else. I led the lead in sacks last year. I'm on a very good team, and I just don't like this situation. Put me somewhere else. Like, no, okay. You signed your contract. Now, you're right. When you get drafted, you are where you are. But they get to choose. They get to sign a contract if they hit free agency. We don't get to hit free agency.
Again, he didn't choose where he's working. He didn't grow up saying, I want to be a Cincinnati Bengal. He didn't.
Technically, like, wasn't Eli Manning a San Diego Charger? Like, you don't have to go where you're drafted.
True. Good point.
But unless you're Eli Manning, you know,
so unless you have
kind of hard for you,
or maybe Shedeur Sanders, we don't know that for sure, but maybe.
Did you guys see the clips of PK Subban, like on various shows on ESPN after that first USA Canada game where everybody fought, and he was just like talking about like that came at I thought a very ironic time, because it was at the start of like a lot of this stuff with NFL players, like, you know, requesting trades and stuff like that. And then amidst like just the bullshit that the NBA deals with like players sitting out, like not wanting to play and whatnot. And like I get why players do what they do, because I feel like they're so just aware in their careers now that like the entire time that they're playing whatever sport they're in, they're going to be doing this for like 10 years if they're lucky. So they're just trying to milk as much money and as much positivity out of it as possible. So like, I get that. But it doesn't make it less frustrating as a fan. And I do feel like more than ever now, we are just so aware that the players really don't give a shit. Like, they're very much doing this because they want to make as much money as possible. And like, truth be told, that didn't always, within like 15 years ago, that actually wasn't always the case, because the money in sports now has dramatically gone up from even 5, 10, 15 years ago. Like, if you look at like even what baseball players were making in like the 90s compared to now, it's absurd, right? And so, yeah, it definitely is frustrating as a fan. Players have, and especially in college, have like a lot of leverage, and understandably so, and they probably should in a lot of cases. But like, as a fan, it doesn't make it any less frustrating to feel like, I watch all these games, I get emotionally invested, and these guys kind of don't care. Like, they want to win, but then like when things get tough, they kind of just don't care anymore. And like, I'll end it with this. If Sidney Crosby isn't asking to be traded right now, shut the fuck up. Like, just shut up. Just shut up. Do you see what he's doing right now? He's the best player in hockey still. He's like 38 years old, and my God. Okay? So, yeah, it's frustrating. It definitely is.
Yeah, and like, look at Matthew Stafford. He's like, I won $50 million. And the Rams are like, no. Go see who else wants you. And they were like, the Steelers called. And he was like, oh, gosh. Anybody else? And they were like, you don't want to know, man. You don't want to know. How badly do you want to be paid $50 million? Do you want to move away from the most beautiful city in the country? Does your wife want to do that? Does she? Does he want to move for a podcast? No? Okay, that's what we thought. Welcome back. Welcome back, brother.
Yeah. That was never happening. It was like all the Giants offered Matthew
Oh my
Stafford
gosh,
more money.
right.
And I was like, Giants? Like
I'm not doing that.
I just look at these
late 30s. Come on.
I look at these things situation by situation, like specifically in the pros. And like, I just think that if you are playing for a shit organization, you shouldn't be stuck there. Like, that's just it. Like, you should just be able to be like, I want the fuck out. I don't think it doesn't mean you don't care. I just think it means you care too much. Like, if you were playing for the Cleveland Browns right now and you aren't asking for a trade, you don't care about playing. You don't. Like, you just don't care. Like, if you're playing for the Bengals and you're watching all this stuff happen with them, and you're like, all right, we're going to make sure we shore up the offense. And it's like, well, they averaged like 40 points a game last year and didn't make the playoffs. So, if I'm on the defense, I'm like, well, screw you guys. I want out. It makes sense to me. Like, these things all make sense. And PK Subban's rant, all I got from that was, this is how hockey people talk. Everyone made it this big deal and they like took it from different ways, and what you should do, make content. But I was like, it's a hockey guy talking about hockey.
I love it.
That's how hockey people talk.
I love it. Because in some weird universe, hockey players, man, they just like it. I get the exact opposite vibe from hockey that I do from most other sports, where it's like, I don't even understand why they care so much. Like,
me either.
You just got traded. You were a Carolina Hurricane. Now you're a New York Ranger, and you're ready to fight for that team today. Like, what? Like, you don't even. You just flew in. You met the team at warmups, and you're like. It's bizarre, but I love it. I absolutely love it.
Dude, it really is. And especially like, because it was the whole 4 countries thing they did or whatever, and everyone was talking about the All-Star games and all that. And then they were like, oh, it's got to be USA versus the world in basketball. I was like, guys, I'm going to tell you this right now. I promise you, these American basketball players don't care about these other countries like that.
Right.
Like all of a sudden, like LeBron and Giannis aren't going to be fighting at center court. Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, none of these
100%.
that pride or whatever is not there. None of that's there. Like, it doesn't exist.
There's that
it's like
famous clip of Kobe running through Pau Gasol at the Olympics that one year. They were teammates. You don't think that would happen in the NBA 4 nations?
No,
I don't. Unless you're on Team USA for in the Olympics, which even at that point, some of those players are like, we'll just cruise into here. But like, if you try to replicate that during the All-Star break, it's like, no, won't be the same.
It's just the Olympics. You're not going to get that for the All-Star game. It's just not going to happen.
Hockey didn't care, man. They just
that's because they
shit out of each other.
That's because those dudes they're just different.
It's
like, you just can't, like, it's just different. Like, it's like, why are you fighting in an all-star game? Why?
Even I was like, damn, everybody's taking this a little too serious, right? This is kind of an exhibition.
So confused.
What are we fighting over? This isn't the Olympics. I was like, what is everybody taking this so serious for?
Like, yeah.
Okay. That's hockey.
Dude, it's just hockey, man. It's different. That's why we love hockey. It's just different.
Yeah.
Oh man!
All right, dude, get to it.
Let's get this off my chest. All right. So went to the movies last night. Me and Siobhan went to see One of Them Days with SZA, Keke Palmer, written by Issa Rae. Movie's hilarious. It's like Female Friday. It's amazing. And while watching this movie, that was so good to watch. All I thought was, why don't we make movies like this anymore? Like, why don't we make movies that are just simple, where it's just 2 women down on their luck. They got 24 hours to figure out how they're going to get their rent paid. Hijinks, happy ending. Like, why can't we make movies like this anymore? Like, there are so many movies like this that we all know are classics that are just like 2 people, 3 people, group of people, figure it out, funny stuff happens, the end. Like, we just need more movies like this, because the trailers for this movie, and I've been to the movies a few times over the last like couple months, the trailers for any adult movie are all horror. It's all horror movies. It's like some setup, and it's just like awful shit happens. Everything's horror, like, and it's just, I don't want to see that. It's like, why can't we just make movies simple again or something? Like, I don't know. It's like everyone's just just going over backwards to make these horror films, and everything's just got to be that, and I don't get it. And I'm somebody who loves action movies, so I'm sure like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, action movies, yeah, that's not my bag. That's fine. But there just needs to be some in between. It just feels like it's action, horror, and then every once in a while you'll get something like the movie we saw last night that goes into the theaters. Because like I like going to the movies. I just need reasons to go, you know? Like not just, and it's never gonna be horror for me. It's never gonna be a superhero movie, and it's just annoying. But yeah, that's all.
I've long said this, Didi. I don't want to pay to have a bad time. I don't want to do that. And
you and I both pay money to Pitt football every year, but
I was just gonna say. Now you might say, Chris, explain yours, but you know what? That's different from an entertainment.
It's for
standpoint.
5 people to go to Pitt football.
Man, yeah. Now Hallie needs a ticket next year, so I got 5 club seats.
Hey,
it's
they'll
funny,
have a good time no matter what. They don't know.
One of my clients who's a Pitt fan texted me the other day, and he's like, my heart dies a little bit every time they do the automatic withdrawal for Pitt tickets. And I was like, yeah, I feel that. But anyway, yes, I completely agree with you, Didi. My favorite movies of all time are the ones that are simple. Like, I don't need explosions and superheroes flying and jump scares every 15 minutes to enjoy a movie. In fact, I would like to dive deep into like a drama or a comedy slash drama that just like tells a story. Why can't we do that? And I feel like the early 2000s was full of them, and then it stopped at some point. And I've seen clips of actors talk about different reasons why that has changed, why that has stopped, and I think some of it might be related to like a lot of those, especially the comedies, were like maybe humor that's not so PC nowadays or something like that. But like I don't know, I'm 100% with you though. I would rather like go to the movies to have like a lighthearted good time and not just be scared shitless or like, you know, constantly be jumping out of my seat.
Yeah, and I feel like the evolution of streaming with like Netflix, like if you watch the Oscars, of the 10 pictures up for motion picture of the year, how many of them were, you know, Netflix, Apple TV, like those type of movies like that, and they're not in that business apparently. I think part of the problem is that Kristen Wiig and Ben Stiller stopped making movies because like that was their jam. Like that was Bridesmaids, Along Came Polly, simple movies like that. But Didi, if you're looking for maybe somebody you haven't discovered these type of movies before, I'd like to introduce you to Paul Rudd, and I think you'd really enjoy his work. I think you'd really enjoy the simplistic nature of his comedy.
That's
I
a
think
great point.
Really enjoy his work. There's a lot of movies out there, and that would help fill the cup. That help fill your cup up a bit.
Didi, you are like that's his entire discography. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so boys, what are you drinking? Chris, what you got?
Like, so the menu. Let's. What are we drinking this week?
All right, we'll put. Don't worry, D. We'll put that on the leftovers. We'll do that at some point. I got no alcohol for you guys today. I am drinking some Timmy H.
Wait a minute. You were in Florida for a week. You didn't have a sip of alcohol.
You didn't have one sip of alcohol.
I did not, and I thought I would actually, but it just like didn't happen.
You were waiting for the beer to find you.
Yeah, there was none. Like
the beer just never found me. You know, I'm there, I'm hanging, but it just, you know,
like you were in the strip club capital of the world. You and Katie's dad didn't just like, just sneak away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never happened. Never happened.
Wow.
God, man.
Wow.
You just do Tampa wrong. All right, boys. Brunch court taste test. Let's get it. Orange cream, Coca-Cola.
Yes.
Orange cream, Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Dude, this has been all over the grocery store lately.
Dude, all over
They're
it.
Pumping this thing. It better be good.
All right.
It's also 7:45 in the morning where you are, and you're just like, I love it. Wow.
What a way to start your day, Dan.
Barely hit his lips, and he's
Dude, this is this is it. This is it.
That's my next single.
This is
it's
it.
Barely hit his lips, and then in parentheses, and he's umming.
He's umming. Umming.
Oh, shit.
Featuring T-Pain. This is it right here. This is it.
little orange cream, like
Oh, yeah.
little orange
Dude.
juice in the morning.
So talk
This
to
is
us. Talk us through it.
This is exactly what you would want. This tastes like a orange creamsicle, just in a Coca-Cola. That's exactly what you want. It's money. This is it. Shouts to Coca-Cola.
Shout out.
You geniuses
Home run.
got it done, baby. America
They knew.
stays fat. Let's get it.
They knew.
We're here, baby.
They're like, we're putting TV commercials behind this one. Let's go.
If it's
That's
that good,
it.
they got to start making a diet version too, right? And
Yeah.
then we can all enjoy it
Oh.
and lose weight together.
Zero,
That's it.
all that. Yeah.
Yep. And you know how, Chris, you were saying you were waiting for the beer to find you and it just never found you? Well, that's basically how this was. Like, it was in like 4 different end caps in the grocery store. And I
Yeah.
was like, fuck it. And it was literally by the strawberries. That's when I grabbed it. I was like, all right, if you're here too, I got to get it now. Jesus.
But like
Like-
it catches your eye too, because you're used to just the red label, and I kept seeing like, why is there orange on this? So then I looked, I was like, oh, this is it, that new shit.
Oh, yeah. And it's
Amazing.
This is, I would, it's, like I said, it's 7 a.m. I'm not drinking all of this right now, but damn it. Is this good? Yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah.
your dedication. That's
So,
amazing. Wow.
Shouts to Coke.
Shouts to Coke. Well, I'll bring a beer to the table this
Get it.
week. One I had this past weekend. Boys, this one was special. Hitchhiker, probably one of the more frequent breweries we mention on Brews Day. I think
Saw
I
it on
mentioned
your Instagram story.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, there you go. There you go. Space Food. I think I introduced this new line of theirs maybe a couple weeks ago. I might have talked about the first version of it. They came out with a version called Space Food Blue Moon, and not Blue Moon, the wheat beer. Okay. Like pie in the sky, moon, the moon in space, since it's space food. This beer, brewed with oats, was conditioned on vanilla soft serve, blueberry puree, lemon puree, fruity ring cereal, and almond extract. And miraculously, this sire is lactose free. Lactose free.
What?
And
How?
I know. And you had me fooled, because you got every single one of those complex flavors. Blueberry was there, then lemon, and then you kind of get this almost donut-like cereal almond flavor that just like brings it all together. And it's outstanding. It's absolutely outstanding. Sometimes when you put too many eggs in one basket for a beer like this, something powers the other ones through. You just don't get all of it. This one checked all the boxes almost evenly. It's amazing. Shout out to Hitchhiker for the Space Food Blue Moon. This is a home run series, and I cannot wait for the next one.
Nice. That sounds delicious.
Absolutely.
Love it. Well, boys, cheers.
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 All right, let's get into the main menu. Chris, you were gone for the last couple of weeks doing some traveling, and you had an airplane topic for us. Let's get to it, sir.
Oh yeah. So I didn't realize this was a thing, but actually I'm gonna have to text my wife because there's a name for it. I meant to ask her what it is. But like
Lying?
yeah, we're gonna talk about lying today, specifically with getting on an airplane. It's like it's a cliche, but it's actually true that like if you're getting on a plane to or from Florida, there will be more people in wheelchairs ready to get on it than going anywhere else in the country. And that's because a lot of old people obviously go to Florida, but they use it as an opportunity to fake like they need help getting on the plane so that they can get on the plane first. This is a big thing. The thing is, you'll see them get on the plane in a wheelchair, one of those airport wheelchairs, but then they'll walk off the plane, and it's like some type of like biblical reference that people say. It's like, oh, they go on the plane, they get saved, and then they can walk off the plane.
Oh, I've never heard of this.
There's a term for it.
I didn't know
okay?
there was a term for this. Yeah.
They go up into heaven, they get saved, and then they come back down and they can walk. Okay. And so it just made me think, what types of things would you guys be comfortable with either faking or lying about to get on a plane first? Because there's a lot of ones that it's like understood, right? Like military, first responders, they get to go on a plane first. families with young children often get like priority. Obviously the disabled, there's all kinds of different, exceptions. And I'm just curious, like, are there things that you boys would be comfortable with faking? Or maybe it's something that isn't even recognized, but you can make it up and be like, I need to get on this plane first.
Anything and everything.
Wow.
Honestly, I have because I travel a lot by myself. So there was one time I saw this mom like struggling to have a bunch of stuff as kids. She's got 2 kids with her, got all the stuff, and I was just like, "Hey, you need some help with that?" And she was like, "Yep," because she was like folding the stroller. One kid's running over here, and I was like, "Been there." So like, dude, I'll fold your stroller. I got you. So I'll fold her stroller, and then I was like, I'll help you carry it on the plane. Get on the plane first. You know what I mean? Like, just carry your stuff. I'll do anything to get on the plane first. Literally anything.
You play the role of fake husband in that situation.
Absolutely.
Like, we're together.
He does it in commercials all the time.
That's fair.
So
I just pro at that.
Yeah, I'm always down. I'm always down to help. And listen, any solo travelers, you see a mom or dad out there struggling with the stuff, you can notice them. You see them. Go over there, get yourself on the plane first.
Wow. So your answer is everything. My answer is like probably nothing. Because I'm a big believer in karma.
Okay.
I'm also generally not in a rush to get on a plane unless I'm worried about bag space, especially if I'm by myself or just me and my wife. It's like, if we're checking a bag, I'm like, what are we going to do? Sit and wait?
Fair.
Hurry up and wait? You heard that phrase before? That's a hurry up and wait. I'd rather have a little bit of breathing room with some other oxygen in the airport terminal than sit there on an uncomfortable plane while you're like stare at everybody getting on. I hate that part. However, for the sake of this, I think I'd fake an injury, and I may not even have to fake it sometimes because my knees are horrible.
Just have them listen to one squat.
Yeah, be like, come down here real quick. You ever know what Velcro sounds and feels like? Come down here. You'll let me on the plane right away in front of all these old people. I guarantee you. They'd be like, that is not normal. Please, sir, take your time. We will hold everybody else up as you get on the plane. So I think, yeah, there'd be some sort of injury or, little hitch in my giddy up to get on the plane maybe a little bit early if I was in a rush. Worried about a little bag space. That is a real thing. Worry about the overhead bag space.
Yeah. Depending on what group you're in, it gets a little
dicey.
Shaky.
Yeah. Especially if you're you have a connection somewhere. You got to get from one plane to the other, and you don't want to have to wait for them to grab your bag from down below. Yeah, that could be something. Be something. But along those same lines, DD too, I think like if I was with my nieces and nephew, when they were younger, they're not very young anymore. But if they were in that young category, I guess I do have a niece that's pretty young. I'd be like, hey, yeah, you ever seen 3 Men and a Baby? Yeah, same situation here. Don't ask.
100%.
We're all together. We all need help putting this young child in her seat. Trust us. Just trust us. Let us go. Let us get this out of the way.
Yeah, so the layover thing is a good point. I didn't think about that, but like I remember when I lived in Oregon flying back, I always had a connection somewhere, and like the layover was normally not very long. And I remember being in the back of planes, like stressing out big time. Cause like if the plane's like even like 5 or 10 minutes late, you're like, okay, well then I have that much less time to run to the next gate. And then I hope my luggage gets there.
Yeah.
I generally though, don't think it's that big of a deal. Like I've never for the life of me understood why people get in line so quickly to just stand there and wait. Cause you could see when okay. You could see people walking. So like I know like Southwest, I know my number. So I don't need to be standing there for 15 minutes. Like I could go there when people start moving. I just don't get that. And especially with like, so a lot of airlines, you have an assigned seat. And so like, who cares? You have a seat.
The plane isn't going to get filled up and you're going to be left hanging there.
Yeah.
Like it's not first come, first serve.
Right. Southwest is the one where it's like, okay, I get that. Like if you get on the plane sooner, you could get a seat closer to the front. But even at that, it's like,
and they've changed that, right?
They haven't changed it yet.
Not yet, but that's coming, right? Where they're going to start doing seat numbers. They're not going to do the lineup anymore.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, which which do you care about more? Like, you get on the plane first and then you have to wait 15 minutes for everybody else, or you arrive and then you're in the back and you have to wait 15 minutes for everybody. Like, either way, you're waiting 15 minutes. Who cares? Who
Yeah.
cares? I don't get it. But I do have a lot of like raps and physical therapy esque. What? What, Dan?
I don't know if Dee was thinking what I was thinking. I thought you literally meant like I grabbed a wrap at the convenience store over here, and I would just like to open the tray table up. And so when it smells with your onions and your jalapenos on there, that it just, get in there, eat it up before everybody gets on the plane, rather than out in the terminal when everybody can see and smell you. That's where I thought you were going.
I spoke for 3 seconds and you got all that out of that? Jesus.
Yes. And I was like, you're a big fan of wraps. Like, I get it. Like, you just want to have a little, sometimes you can't find a table when you're there waiting for your plane. You'd rather have the tray table to eat your wrap on rather than eat it on your lap. Yeah. So fair.
Eat it on the tarmac. No, I have lots of like body physical therapy equipment where I feel like I could just wrap my body up in a bunch of like knee braces and elbow shit and like say like, yeah, I've got some problems. Can I get on this plane first? That's what I'm trying to say. So I feel like I could do it if I needed to, because I have all of the resources. Just strap my lifting belt on, put a knee brace on, elbow wrap, and just be like, yeah, I got in a really bad car accident a week ago. Like, can I, would it be okay if I get on the plane first? And they'd be like, well, look at this guy. He looks like a mess. Yeah, you can get on.
Yeah, I understand everything you're saying about getting on the plane first. It's really silly. It's just like, I'm a window seater. So like, I always sit window. I get in there. I'm by myself. And I'm just like chilling. I don't like getting on the plane early with my children though. That's the thing.
Interesting.
Like,
I
people are like,
thought that would be an
kids
advantage.
get on early. No, I don't want to be on. I don't want to be on there not moving. Like, I'm like, I want to get on the plane with my family when the plane is moving. I want to like jump in. I want to throw Saoirse across, throw the kids across, then I jump in, and then I want to be moving somewhere. I can't stand taxiing or just sitting there on the tarmac with your family. No, not with the ages of the kids that I have. No, I'm good on that. I absolutely hate that. They're older now, so it's a little bit different, but when they were like younger, like no. I don't want that at all. Like,
every year,
start traveling this year, and no.
Every year in the Dudley house, they watch Home Alone, and Dee Dee's like, "This is how everybody gets on a plane. We're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
See this last second run? See this barely getting in before the door?
Dude,
that's us. We're them.
That's what I want, because no, I don't need to get you situated. No, the more time you have to look around at shit, the more time you have to like plot what the fuck you're gonna fuck up on this flight. No. No, it's like, it's why the red eye is great. It's like they turn the lights out, you can't see shit.
Yeah, right.
Done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
when the lights turn off, you're not allowed to speak. It's a federal regulation. Sorry, everybody, just kids, be thrown off this plane.
all right. Well, let's get into this Costco topic. All right. There's a TikToker out there, because of course there's a TikToker for everything, who lost 4 pounds in 7 days by eating Costco hot dogs. And Chris, who's got a Kirkland sweatshirt on right now, is the king of Costco. How do you feel about this, Christopher?
Boy, do I have thoughts. So when I read the headline, I was like, you know what? Maybe this is cool, because maybe it's an example for people to see, like, you don't have to eliminate any foods to lose weight, which is true. And this guy proved that can happen, right? You don't have to cut out your favorite foods to lose weight. Now, would I recommend you do it with hot dogs and get the worst possible nutrition in your body at all times? No, I would not. But let's just read through some of this. This is a short article, okay? Short article.
It's important.
A TikTok user claims to have lost over 4 pounds in 1 week eating nothing more than Costco's hot dog combo. Columbus, Ohio resident Joel Kinsley, who goes by Sir Yacht on TikTok. By the way, this dude is a huge Browns fan, and he's kind of annoying. Actually started his journey as an effort to save money rather than lose weight. Distressed by how expensive food has become, Kinsley set out to see how much money he could save by consuming only Costco's $1.50 combo, which, as you should probably, if you don't know, like Costco's food court has ridiculously low priced food because they know if people come into Costco, they're going to spend hundreds of dollars while they're there. So you can have a $1.50 combo. And the combo has a foot-long hot dog, soft drink. He did that for 7 straight days. Over the entire week, Kinsley reported consuming 29 hot dog combos. Pause for everyone to vomit. Okay, thank you. And he only spent $43.50. He cites this as being just 25% of what the average millennial spends on food each week. He said, quote, I might have started a new diet trend because I lost 4.2 pounds in 7 days. Continue the quote. The fact that I lost 4 pounds was mind-blowing. I enjoyed what I ate, I lost weight, and I was like, I think I might be onto something here. Let's pause. You're not onto something here, buddy. While you may have lost weight, I would like us to ask more hard-hitting questions. Like, what was it like in the bathroom during this week? How were your bowel movements? How was that whole situation? How was your digestion? Because this is just, okay. Continue the quote. Surprisingly, I never got sick of eating hot dogs once. I balled on a budget, lost weight, and had the culinary experience of a lifetime. Pause. What?
Wow.
The culinary experience of a lifetime? I'm sorry? This has Browns fan written all over it. That's all. Okay. One Costco hot dog has 560 calories. That means eating 4 in one day would give one their recommended daily intake of 2,000 calories. Let's pause again.
Makes sense. It's math. We can all math.
I think we're all like, am I off on this? But aren't we all kind of like on the understanding at this point that like, oh yeah, actually everybody shouldn't eat 2,000 calories a day?
Apparently not this guy.
Can you confirm that that's like pretty common knowledge? Like people understand that like a 2,000 calorie diet is not, they're not saying everybody should eat 2,000 like everybody should eat a different amount of calories. Do people know that?
No, they don't. They don't. It's the same thing with water. It's like everyone thinks you should drink a gallon of water a day, but everybody shouldn't drink a gallon of water a day because like some people can handle it, some people can't. Your bodies are different. Some people can drink more than a gallon of water a day. But like some people, if they try to drink a gallon of water a day, all of a sudden they just are like peeing every 4 seconds. Everybody's body's different.
That's very disturbing. Everybody is a different size and a different shape and has different habits and different genetics, and everybody should eat a different amount of calories. Okay, let's just make that very clear. So just because you can eat 5 Costco hot dogs for 2,000 calories doesn't mean that that's going to, I mean, Jesus Christ. I don't know, guys. We could go for another half hour on this topic. Like, is it common knowledge about how horrible the nutrition of hot dogs is? Like, don't most people know that hot dogs are like one of the, in terms of quality of nutrients, hot dogs are like at the bottom of the food chain. Is that common knowledge?
I think it is, but I think in terms of quality of taste, it's at the top, my friend.
Yeah.
I think
hot dogs are good.
And I think that's what's most interesting about this, right? Is that he didn't seek to lose weight. He was trying to quote, and I can't believe he still used the phrase "ball on a budget." Like, is this 2009? Goodness. And like spending 25% of what the average millennial spends on food, like that's kind of amazing nowadays. However, at the expense of what? At the expense of what? I think that's a dangerous game he played. I can't believe he did. I mean, let's also be honest. How many days could you actually go eating only 4 hot dogs in a day and nothing else?
I couldn't eat only hot dogs for an entire day. I wouldn't even be able to do it, Dan. I couldn't do only hot dogs for a whole day. You're awake for 16 plus hours. The only thing you're going to eat is hot dogs? No. No. I couldn't even do a day.
I could do it for a day.
I could do it for a day, but I think I'd get hungry eventually and not be in the mood for a hot dog.
So,
you know what I mean? I think I would just end up feeling like shit midway through the second day and being like, oh man, 7 days is that's a lot of hot dogs. That's a lot of hot dogs. But I also think, yeah, again, only 4 hot dogs a day. I understand the caloric intake, but I just don't think it's getting the job done.
No, there's so much nuance to diet. Like food volume matters, right?
Right.
That's
Right.
why you have
Right.
vegetables with some of your meals because like it gives you nutrients and it helps you feel full. This is ridiculous. So I think the one thing I got to get off my chest. I know we're an hour into the episode already. I don't know how many people made it this far, but for whoever is still here with us listening to this, just as an educational opportunity from me. The reason this guy lost 4.2 pounds is because of 2 things. Number one, this probably showed him that he was eating way more than 2,000 calories a day. Okay?
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, he lost at least 3 pounds of water weight because he was only having hot dogs. So he wasn't filling his body up with a bunch of other carbs and sodium that he would normally have throughout the day, which are things that hold on to water. And so when you stop having the same amount of carbs and sodium, your body gets rid of that water. So this guy lost 4 pounds of water. He didn't lose 4 pounds of body fat. And that's why these like stupid diet trends or these stupid things and hacks people do to lose a quick amount of weight in a short period of time really piss me off because it's like, oh, that's how you lose weight. No, that's how you pee a lot. That's how you pee a lot, and that's how this guy probably had diarrhea for half of the week.
Talk
Like
about being a Browns fan.
that's what happened here, and I hate it. I hate it.
Oh.
Can I tell you something that I think is funny about this? Is that because he's a Browns fan and he's from Ohio. I don't think I own one Browns t-shirt. I don't own a Browns jersey because Myles Garrett, why, he's about to leave. Why would I do that?
Yeah, who else are you investing in? Yeah.
But the only thing I have that says that I'm a Browns fan is the first Browns game I ever went to was like 1994 or something. And basically right before they left town. It's the game before they left. And I had Cleveland Brown mustard, which is just spicy mustard, and it was the best thing. It was life-changing. I haven't had a hot dog without spicy mustard in my life. So I have brown mustard in my fridge all the time. So shouts to hot dogs. Shouts to my guy from Ohio, Browns fan. Spicy mustard. It all comes together.
Like he should have been a little bit more creative and been like, I went in there, got my combo, and then I walked around Costco for an hour and did, a mile and a half.
Dan, that's a great point too.
Add something else there because also you're taking 4 trips to Costco per day, unless you're taking this home and reheating it, which please don't tell me you did that. But like add some exercise because Costco's are huge and maybe you could, think about it a little differently.
He probably did, Dan. That's the point. Like,
yeah, he left all of that out.
because he didn't just make it at home and sit on the couch and take 4 steps to the kitchen to make his meal. He had to get in the car, go to the parking lot, walk out of the parking lot, go to Costco, walk around to get to the food. Like he did more exercise without even knowing it.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And here's another thing. I had to look up what Sir Yacht looked like because I'm not saying that it's easy to lose weight. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. I just wanted to see how big this guy was, how small this guy was, if I'm impressed by him losing 4 pounds. Because yes, it's 4 pounds, but like you can have a crazy couple weeks and lose 4 pounds like pretty easy if you just I don't know, live your life normally.
I'm in a fat loss phase. I lost 4.5 pounds this week.
That's what I'm saying. Because
some people do that after a trip. Some people do that after a trip to Olive Garden. I mean, let's get real.
It's true. Like you go on vacation for 7 days and you're just eating takeout or you're eating at restaurants all week long, whatever. You're eating more food, you're drinking beer, you're doing whatever. It's just different. Then you go back to normal life and you lose weight right there, right? So, and this guy doesn't look like somebody that 4 pounds is all that. I don't know. It doesn't look all that hard to me when you look at Sir Yacht. So I don't know. He doesn't, because honestly, he's a big guy. He looks like a taller guy and doesn't look like a non-athletic person. Doesn't look like, I don't know. I'm not impressed by this. So, yeah.
Oh, amazing. 2 Costco topics in a row. Amazing. The gift that keeps on giving.
Listen, shouts to Costco, man. Shouts to Costco.
I'm actually about to, this is Sunday. I'm about to post what I get at Costco later today. for my fat loss phase. So if you want some ideas that are better than hot dogs, I'll be posting that. And this goes live on Wednesday. You can just scroll back in my feed, a few posts, and you'll find it.
You got to get that cereal that's the most popular in Pennsylvania.
What is
That mixed cereal. Yeah, forgot you don't listen to our episodes when you're not on. I'll have to find the map from last week. Dee, the most popular foods by state and from Costco, and it's some cereal. In fact, a fan of the program, listener to the program, Tyler, new Costco member, sent me, and he was like, "Is this it?
Is it Magic Spoon?
Morning Summit. Almonds are the first ingredient," is what it says. And I was like, "Yeah, that's it." Then I was like, "Holy shit, that's a 2-pound box of cereal." Maybe don't commit to it just for the bit, but you, Chris, should. So there you go.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
All right, boys. Well, I guess we'll get to movies on the next show.
We got derailed.
It's what happens when we have. This is what happens when we aren't here for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
When somebody's not here for 2 weeks, we start going on. All right. Let's get into music. Christopher, what you been listening to, man?
Yeah, dude. There's So Moana 2 comes out on Disney Plus in like 3 days. Mm-hmm. My daughters want to listen to the soundtrack every single day, and I forget the name of it. There's I obviously will share it.
Chihu?
Well, Chihu's obviously, yeah. Chihu! Everybody's into it, right? But there's like this 1.5 minute song on the soundtrack that once you get, I've been actually meaning to text it to you guys. When you get 30 seconds into this song, it's like a tribal, like island song. It starts going unnecessarily hard. And like, I feel like somebody needs to sample it and like rap on top of it. So I forget what it's called. It's only 1.5 minutes. None of it is English, but we're going to put it on the playlist because I vibe out to it every day.
Like it.
Send that unnamed track to me now before you forget.
Yeah, well, I don't know the name, so how do I send it to you?
You get it, yeah.
You just have to find it. You'll there. Find it. They all have names. All the yeah. Listening to the Moana soundtracks are like
All right. First off, for me, Lady Gaga, ladies and gentlemen, Lady Gaga. The brand new album Mayhem out this week. It's good. It's really good. It's not like super great. The singles were great. But I think it's still a really, really good album. I like that it's leaning a little bit more pop forward, which we were kind of hoping for from LG this time around. But I'll put Vanish Into You, maybe Don't Call Tonight. Those were 2 good ones that kind of stuck out to me. Again, the singles are the best things on the album, but overall, very pleased. Very pleased.
Nice. Doechii put out a song called Anxiety. That samples I think it's safe to call it the most boring hit of the 2000s. Somebody that I used to know.
Gautier,
it's legitimately the most. I hear that song and I know all the words. I bet if you play that song to a big crowd of people, like we'll all say, "You shouldn't have to sing solo." We'll all be singing it, but it's literally like the most boring and lamest hit of the 2010s.
Dude, just takes a xylophone. That he proved it just takes a xylophone. Like, nothing else in that song is catchy except that xylophone.
And she samples it and makes it just awesome. Shouts to Doechii, Anxiety on the playlist.
Dude, I started playing that. And I immediately thought my Spotify just started randomizing shit. And I was just like, what? I don't have Gautier on any playlist. And then I was like, oh, no, this is the song. I love it. This is better. This is good.
All right. My next one is from Millington. They're the best new ska band that's out there. So if you like ska, you haven't checked them out, you should. They put out a new song called Landslide. It's just good fun, boys. It's just good fun.
I like that. The best new ska band out there. Maybe one of the few, but...
Oh, dude, I have an ad running and somebody randomly commented on it. I don't know who this person is. Don't recognize them. Not from Pittsburgh. Commented. It's a post to moms and dads. And he put in there Skunk 11 with a peace sign. I'm like, who are you? How do you know that? And he never responded.
Oh, come on.
I know. I need more information.
Please, whoever you are.
Reunion tour.
Best
Bro.
new ska band.
Bro, we are only a couple months away from the 20th anniversary of our debut album, Reflect on This. It's coming up this June.
I'm just a couple months away from a pretty big career transition, Dan. So
there you go. A little free time.
Reunion tour. Let's go.
Next for me, Aiden Bissett. If the name rings a bell, he's been on the playlist before. It's been a minute. He's kind of a indie pop, alt rock singer, plays guitar, really talented musician. He's got a new song out this week called Are We in Love Yet? He's really great live as well. We saw him live last fall. So check him out. Aiden Bissett.
Nice. All right. As you guys know, I have my favorites. Miguel and J-Hope from BTS put out a song called Sweet Dreams. Miguel sounds amazing on it. J-Hope does whatever K-pop things he does on it, but it's Miguel, so I'm always here for it. Sweet Dreams. Miguel and J-Hope.
Speaking of BTS, why on earth are Blackpink getting back together for a tour this summer when their solo careers are on fire right now? I'm sure there's a reason.
That's why.
But no, go on tour solo first and then get back together.
No, that's why.
That makes no sense to me.
That is why.
I don't think they have a choice, to be honest.
Well,
that's the other thing. They might not have a choice in the matter.
They like each other. This is the Destiny's Child thing. Remember, Beyonce went solo, Kelly did her thing, Michelle did her thing, then they came back together for the last album. This is what they're doing.
But they didn't get back together a month after their albums just got released.
I think it's genius. Because they're so big right now. So big.
This should not detract from the fact that if you're with Dee in public and Miguel comes on, just walk away.
Ooh, strap in.
Just walk
strap
away.
Him in because he'll be gone.
Walk away for 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And get Dee a glass of water and carry on with your evening.
Dude, you know what? Put Lotus Flower Bomb by Wale and Miguel on the playlist. Just put that on there there. Let's do it.
The one of the times that happened, I'd never been so blindsided. Okay, the last one I haven't listened to this song yet, but I'm excited about it. Kid Quill put out another song called Pico, and the image on Spotify for this song is a big bowl of Pico de Gallo. So we'll see what's going on here. Boys.
All right. Little tease. Amazing. And the last one for me is from Xenadelphia, another name that might ring a bell. I think her single Love Language was what I put on the playlist late last year when I had first gotten word of her. And she did a cover of I Will Survive. And to warn you, it is a much different version of the song. It's much slower, more melodic, but it gives you a chance to kind of appreciate the melody a little bit as it kind of goes through in slow motion. So don't get ready to do some disco fever dancing. I Will Survive. Just slow it down a bit. Let Xenadelphia take you there.
Dan, you did this last year with Christine and the Queen Staying Alive.
No, this isn't like that.
This isn't like the worst song of the year.
This isn't like that.
If it weren't for Luke Bryan, it would have been the worst song.
We can always count on Luke Bryan to provide some trash. So no problem.
Oh man. All right. Speaking of Blackpink, Jennie and Dua Lipa put out a song called Handlebars, and this song is great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Big.
I just like the song a lot. So check it out. Handlebars, Jennie, Dua Lipa, and I'm putting it on the playlist.
Love it.
All right, boys. Well, yeah. Well, actually, sorry, my bad. Listen to the Sounds of Brunch on Spotify exclusively. 2 weeks of songs. Tell Siri, tell Alexa to play the Sounds of Brunch. All right, boys. Any final thoughts?
Yes, the term for an astonishing amount of old people being in wheelchairs waiting to get on a plane to Florida and then walking off that plane when it lands in Florida is called Jetway Jesus.
Oh, jeez. JWJ. Little teaser for next week. Tune in where we will find the answer. What is more challenging to whom? Chris eats hot dogs for a week or Dee watches all Paul Rudd movies for a week? Tune in and find out.
That's the Brunch Breakdown. We're out.